So Salt Light City, not Salt Lake City. Salt.
Wait,
Light.
what?
Salt Light City.
Light-
Say it fast. Salt Light.
Salt Lake City. I'm going to Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Are three objects that Jesus is comparing, asking his disciples to compare themselves to. Salt brings out what does salt do?
Flavor, baby.
Yeah, it brings out the flavor.
Preserves.
Preserve. He's asking,
Yep.
and then light stands out, helps you through obstacles. It's the opposite of darkness. This city, a city on a hill,
Mm-hmm.
everyone could see it. And back in ancient times, cities would be on hills to kind of, protect you from your enemies. You could see them coming. And but these scriptures actually
And also, it also helped. I was going to add to it there too, that it
Yeah, go
also
ahead.
helped people navigate. People can see cities from far off and they knew where to go because they were up high. It helped people
Exactly.
navigate also.
So Salt Light City are things that Jesus is asking his disciples to compare themselves to. And as I was reading it, at the same time, you don't want to brag, you don't want to be self-righteous. Oh, look at me. But salt isn't good by itself. Salt isn't good by itself. And what is the point of light if you can't see it? And what's the purpose of a city with no citizens? So therefore, be the Salt Light City on a hill. And for me, when it talked about the light, do men light a candle and put it under a bushel? I love studying church history in the past. I love, just church in general. But how selfish would it be if I was just doing all the studying in my bedroom and never shared it, and trying to find that formula, as y'all was talking about earlier, trying to find that formula of preaching the gospel, being an example, being the salt, being the light, and being the city on a hill, trying to find that formula. Yeah. But if we apply those Beatitudes in our life, as it said before all that, I think it'll just come if we truly find in ourselves, to applying those Beatitudes, being poor in the spirit, and desire, having that hunger and thirst. One thing that we went over in verse 6 is, blessed are they who hunger and thirst after righteousness. I get desire after that. I remember years ago moving into the other ward, 2 wards in our hometown. I remember Brother Bob Carwell giving a talk about when we pray, we should pray for a desire to magnify our calling, not just to having that desire to go home teaching back in the day, having that desire because, sometimes that excitement is what we need, that hunger and thirst. Have you ever been really hungry? And what's the first thing you want to do? You want to go eat. But you had to be hungry first to really, and that thirst too. So having that hunger and thirst after righteousness, that desire, is very, there in Dr. Covenants 137:9, it says, "For I, the Lord, will judge all men according to their works, according to the desire of their hearts." So, I think it's very important, our works and being loyal and faithful, but having that desire, we should want to do it, not because we feel like we need to. We should have that hunger and thirst. But again, Salt Light City.
Hey, that's another shirt, man. Instead of Salt Lake City, it's Salt Light City.
Salt Light City. Be like salt.
Salt Light City.